Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me here on this video today. My name is Angela and thank you for coming and spending a little time out with me today. So guys, in this video we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why you might not be losing weight. Now, I've been on the journey, well I am still on my journey to losing 140 pounds, and to date I've lost about 97 pounds, so I still have a little way to go. And on that journey guys, there has been many times where I've not lost weight, and it's been incredibly frustrating, really demotivating, and I feel like giving up. But trying to understand why I've not lost the weight has been it's been a complete different topic. And whilst sometimes there is no rhyme or reason why, because our bodies are just incredible, our bodies will do what it wants to do as and when it wants to do. What I've learned over the years is that the only thing I can do is put in place healthy habits, and healthy habits that is going to really support weight loss. When the weight loss comes off, that's totally a different matter. And as frustrating as it can be, and it is, there are a few little things that I'm going to share with you that maybe, I'm not saying that it is, but it may be impacting your weight loss. So it's maybe worth exploring this to see whether these things are hindering your progress. Now, I'm following the Weight Watchers plan, but regardless of what plan you're doing, whether you're counting calories, regardless, I think it's really important to think about the food that we have and the quantity that we have. So when I was in a stall, I had to go back and track and measure and weigh everything, because over time those portion sizes can really grow. And when I started eyeballing things, eyeballing my sauces, taking a guess at how much spread I was using, all those licks, tastes and bites as they're called at Weight Watchers, they can really add up. I would be having the odd couple of sweets. I'd love to say the odd sweet, but the odd couple of sweets, or that extra couple of rows of chocolate, or even that extra chunk of chocolate, maybe that extra bag of crisps, or getting the large bag of crisps and not weighing it and pointing it properly, all made a difference. The other thing that was really key for me was reading the package really carefully, because I would take a quick glimpse at the front of the package and it would say something like 120 calories a portion. So I'm thinking, oh, this is quite low points. And then I would scan it in my app and it would say I don't know, 3 points for 100 grams. And it was easy for me to think, it's 3 points for the whole bag. But then I had to look at how many grams was in the bag, and the gram, it may be, for example, 3 points for 100 grams, but the bag may contain 170 grams. So I was having 70 grams more than I expected, which is probably an extra 2 points. So in total, the whole bag, 170 grams, may have been 5 points. But because I wasn't reading it properly, it was taking it as 3 points. So I was over my points. So I had to go back and really think about that and start tracking things like that properly. Also things like yogurt. That's a classic, and although I don't drink milk or have milk in my tea, I know that lots of people do, and they would just eyeball the milk. And again, over time, those little drops of milk that all of that, you know, that extra 10 mils of milk. Also the sugar, if you add having sugar or honey, and if you're just eyeballing it, it all adds up. And you only really need to be about 4 or 5 points over your daily budget per day to be 35 points over in a week. And that could also be the difference as to staying the same or to having a gain. So tracking everything, all those licks, tastes and bites, tracking all the sauces, the mayo, the ketchup, all of those things. The peanut butter, for me, I know the peanut butter is a classic, and measuring that really carefully. So what I did, I invested in a good quality set of measuring cups and measuring spoons. So these are my measuring spoons. I've got 2 sets actually that I bought at different times, and they are amazing. These ones, there is more in the collection. They're in the drawer somewhere, but these ones are on a ring, so they're kept together. And these ones, there's about 6 in the collection, and they're all loose. But these measuring spoons, absolutely fantastic, because if I show you on these ones, it comes in a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, a quarter of a teaspoon, and a tablespoon. And these black ones come in different measures too. They come in also 1 teaspoon, half a tablespoon, even down to 1/8 of a tablespoon. So different measures. That's why I've got the 2 sets. Absolutely brilliant. So it took the guesswork out of it, because if you think of a tablespoon, if you think of a teaspoon, all teaspoons are different. They're all different in capacity. But having these measured spoons, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, investing in things like that can make a difference. I've also got my measuring cups as well, and these ones are brilliant too. They measure out half a cup, 2/3 of a cup, 3/4 of a cup, and a cup. So these are brilliant if I'm following like an American or Australian recipe. Brilliant in terms of getting that measurement correct. And also things like kitchen scales are fantastic for getting those quantities, those measurements right in grams or kilograms or pounds and ounces. And even things like these measuring jugs for measuring out liquids, so for your milk, things like that, absolutely fantastic. So if you're in that plateau and your weight isn't shifting, and usually, you know, a plateau can be anything from about a month. If, say, you haven't lost weight, if you've lost a lot of weight 1 week, say maybe 2 or 3 pounds, then it is quite normal for your body to not lose the next week. It's just catching up with itself, and all sorts of things are going on, hormones and changes to your body. But if after 4, 5 weeks you haven't, your weight has stayed the same, then that can be seen also as a weight plateau. And at that point, I would be saying go back to basics and start weighing, measuring out everything, using all your tools to make sure that those quantities don't creep up, because it's really easy to do that. And even with things like your 0 pointed foods, if you're following the Weight Watchers plan, I would also go back and weigh and measure those things, because whilst things on the 0 pointed list is 0, and we can, Weight Watchers say we can eat those till we're satisfied, then it's also about managing those portions, because you know, you wouldn't, it can be easy to eat 2 chicken breasts, but it's remembering that those foods still have calories. And whilst at Weight Watchers, the plan isn't about calories, it's about tracking points. It's the point system converts those calories, so it still uses calories, and it converts those to a point system so that it becomes easier to get into that calorific deficit. So I would definitely go back to weighing and measuring everything, and also tracking carefully and tracking everything that you eat, so that you're staying within your daily budget. And that's something that I had to do. I really had to invest in all these tools and equipment to make sure that I was staying within my budget and not going over. And guys, I have popped in the comments section below some of my favourite products around all of these kitchen equipment to help me stay on track. So feel free to check them out. They're all links to Amazon, so feel free to check them out. So yeah, staying on track, weighing and measuring, really key. Also, if you're not losing weight, it's really good to ensure that you're not overestimating any energy that you've burnt. And it's easy to do this if we have done some activity. If you're tracking it on a smart device and that is connected to your Weight Watchers app, the Weight Watchers app will convert that into points for you. And the way that the point system works means that you now get less points per activity, and that is to enable you to have that calorific deficit, because that is what helps us to lose weight when we're constantly in a calorific deficit. So if you stay within your points, you will lose weight. And Weight Watchers also say that you could eat your activity points and still lose weight. And I've heard from so many people who say that that works for them, and other people say they don't. That doesn't work for them. So I would always encourage you to find that middle ground and find what works for you. Never going hungry, because believe it or not, being hungry will hinder you from losing weight long term. We have to feed and nourish our bodies, and when we nourish our bodies, that's when we see weight loss. So use those activity points if you wish, but I would always encourage you to track those accurately. Really track them accurately, and it's really easy to overestimate them. So if you've been working out in the gym and you've been on the treadmill, or you've gone for a walk, and you pop it into the app, and you might think, okay, I've gone at a moderate pace, and you may have tracked it for an hour, and for example you might have got 6 points. Your idea of moderate compared to a slow walk is subjective. So you might class it as moderate and claim 6 points, but somebody else might say, actually, that was a slow walk, and you might only have claimed 2. Yeah, so I would always say, don't overestimate your activity point, especially if you're going to eat them. Personally, I don't eat my activity points, but I do track them because I like to see my progress, and I like to see them build in my weeklies. I will often use my weeklies, but not my activity points, but that is entirely up to you, because Weight Watchers say you can still use your dailies, your weeklies and your activity points and lose weight. But if you're doing that and you're not seeing weight loss, not necessarily the results you want to see, because we'd all love to lose 3 pounds each week, but if you're not getting weight loss, even if it's a ½ pound weight loss, then just think about, 1, are you tracking those activity points accurately, and 2, maybe just pull back a little bit and not use as many, but lean into your zeros that little bit more. And also, guys, remember, when you're tracking your activity on a smart device, it's going to give you an estimate it's never going to be 100% accurate. It's just an estimate. So again, just go a little bit careful with eating your activity points. Another reason that you may not be losing weight is if you're not eating enough protein and fibre. Now we know that protein and fibre, when we eat it, it helps to keep us satisfied and keep us full for longer. And when we're eating that and we're feeling more satisfied at meal times, it's less likely that we're then going to go and snack. So if after a meal and you're feeling the need to snack, or you still feel hungry, it could be that you're not eating enough protein or fibre. So it may be that you're filling up on those high pointed snacks, extra food and treats to satisfy that hunger. And again, if you're not tracking those, then that can be a danger spot. But also, if you are tracking those and it is taking you over your budget, then again, maybe that is something to look at. On my journey, I am just so passionate about getting sufficient protein and fibre into my diet every single day. And I even went as far as researching how much fibre and how much protein my body needs to sustain healthy weight loss. And I encourage you to do that for yourself, to explore that. But even if you didn't want to do that, be guided by how satisfied you feel at the end of a meal. And if you're not satisfied, then maybe consider where your protein source was, a good quality source of protein too, and could you increase that? Because we really should be having protein at every meal in order to have that satisfaction and to support our body. And also, if you can have protein in your snacks too, that can also help. So if you're not losing weight, then it could just be that you're not feeding your body enough protein and fibre to keep you satisfied, and it could be that you're over consuming on snacks. We also know that protein is so important for building muscle, for our muscle mass, keeping us satisfied, and also all of those good nutrients that our body needs. It also helps us to build muscle. And when we build muscle, and when I talk about building muscle, I don't mean, like we're going to become bodybuilders. I'm not talking about that. But over time, as we lose weight, as we get older, we lose muscle mass. So it's really important to keep eating that protein to build and sustain muscle mass, because the more muscle mass that we have, it enables us to burn fat. And when we burn fat, guess what happens, guys? We lose weight. So really important to look at your protein sources and to ensure you're getting enough of that in, but also fibre, because fibre does the same as well. It keeps us fuller for longer, but also helps with a healthy gut to eliminate waste. And if we're not eliminating waste, then that can also show on the scales too. So yeah, just review your meals to make sure you're getting enough of those into your day. Another reason that you may not be losing weight may be due to your lifestyle. And we know that, especially at Weight Watchers, the plan has 4 pillars, which is built around sleep, mindset, activity and food. And it could be that we're not getting enough or getting that balance right. If we're just focusing completely on food, then think about, are you balanced with all those other pillars too? Are you getting that good quality sleep? Sleep is so important, much more important than we may even realise. when our bodies are sleeping, when our bodies are resting, then it impacts our hormones. And have you ever woken up in the morning after a really restless night? You've tossed, you've turned, you've not eaten, you've not slept very well. Have you ever noticed what foods you crave and you want to eat? I know for me, it's the sugar, it's the carbs. For breakfast, I want the biscuit. I want the sugary cereals. I want those sweet things. That's what I'm craving. I've been known to have chocolate for breakfast because that's what my body is craving. And my body's craving that because of hormones. Because the hormones are doing its thing and creating that feeling of that craving that we need that sugar. Our bodies are craving that full sense of energy because we've had that restless night. So creating a sleep routine can really make the difference and can really help us on our weight loss journey. And over the years, that's something that I work on constantly, creating an environment so that I get good quality sleep. And I will make a video about that, but just to tell you quickly, I take a warm bath every night with some bath salts just to relax my body. Also salts that have got magnesium in as well, because magnesium when absorbed is really, really good for the body. And then I will rub down with some oils and then get into bed. So my bed is clean, it's got some fresh linen in, my room is nice and tidy and organised, and I don't, although I've got a TV in my room, I don't tend to watch TV because my bedroom is a place where I sleep and relax. So as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm out like a light. And other than waking up because of pain or due to my health condition and my arthritis, more often than not I get a really good night's sleep, and then that follows through into the day and my food choices. So if you're not losing weight, then have a little look at your sleep routine. Is that supporting you on your weight loss journey, or is that hindering you? Is there something that you can do to improve that? And also we know activity can also help. Now, activity in any form, it might be going out and doing some gardening, it might be dancing in the kitchen, it might be going out for a 10-minute walk. Whatever you can do can really help with weight loss, because we know how movement is so good for the body, it's good for the mindset as well. And also any activity that you can do at any time in the day is going to help with helping us with that sleep routine too. So maybe looking at our lifestyle, but also in terms of stress. We know that stress can also impact weight loss. If we're stressed, it can lead us to eating unplanned foods. It may mean that we don't have the time to cook healthy meals. It may mean that we don't want to cook at all. Stress may result in us under eating, and eating less it may give you weight loss in the short term, but it's not a sustainable way to lose weight. But stress can often lead us to overeat too, and overeat unplanned foods. So looking at our lifestyle and thinking about what needs to change to sustain the weight loss, to get a healthy lifestyle routine in place, can help really make the difference. And the fifth reason that you might not be losing weight, and this one is a good one, it could be you're gaining muscle. So if, like me, you've been working out hard in the gym, or I'm pushing weights, I'm lifting weights, I'm doing compound exercises, then I'm building muscle mass. You might be walking further and longer, you're building strength, you're building muscle. If you're doing all of these things, and when I say that, I don't mean if you've done, 5 walks in a week. No, it means over a period of time, over a month, over 2 months, over 3 months. If you're doing all those things right, you're following the plan, you're weighing, you're measuring, you've got that good sleep routine in, you're hydrated, if you're within your points, if you're doing all of that, and you are actively active, and you're strength training, you're walking more, you're more physically active, and you are building muscle, that could be a reason why you're not losing weight. And that's a good thing, and I'll tell you why, guys. I'll tell you why. What I've learned is that when we build muscle in our bodies, it's going to affect our physique. So we're going to look leaner, we're going to be stronger, we're going to feel good about that, feel really good in our bodies. But also, when we build muscle burns fat. The more muscles we build, muscle over a period of time is heavy. It's heavier than fat. And muscle burns fat. And what does fat loss mean? Fat loss will eventually lose to weight loss. So if you've just started a new routine, you may be walking more, you might be running, you might be in the gym. If you're doing these things, in that week, you may not necessarily see any change. But over a couple of weeks, your weight might stall. But that's because you're putting on muscle. It could be. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a personal trainer. This is what I know from doing research and also talking to personal trainers too. And even myself on my weight loss journey, this past 2 months, I have been going at it really hard in the gym. And whilst I've lost an incredible amount of inches, and I feel so strong and I feel toned and I feel amazing, at my weigh-in, and I will pop a video in the comments box below if you've not seen my weigh-in results, I actually gained weight. But I know that that's only temporary, because now that I'm building more muscle, my muscle will help to burn fat and keep me in that fat burning zone longer, and then that over time will result in weight loss. So guys, those are my 5 tips on why you might not be losing weight. Just to recap, it might be that, the weighing and measuring we may not be on it as much as we were when we started on the journey. Or it could be that a few things have slipped. So do get your tools and equipment out to go back to measuring accurately. It could be that when we're burning energy through exercise, it could be that we're overestimating how much energy we're burning. We might be tracking our activity incorrectly and getting more points than what we actually do. And if you're eating your activity points, again, you might be over on your points because of inaccurately estimating. It could also be that we're not eating enough protein and fibre to sustain weight loss and to support weight loss. Those are really, really important as part of our meals. And maybe we just need to review that a little bit. The 4th reason was maybe our lifestyle isn't supporting weight loss. Maybe we're not very active. Maybe we're not, and by active I don't mean we all have to go and join a gym, but it could just be doing whatever we can, whether it be dancing at home, whether it be sitting in a chair and lifting our arms above our head, just moving however we can. But the more that you can do, it's going to be better. It could be that our sleep is off too. So maybe it's worth having a little look at our sleep routine, and also always keeping that positive mindset too. And the fifth reason could be that we're gaining muscle. Could be that we're gaining that muscle if we are doing strength training. And gaining muscle over time means that we're going to burn fat, and burning fat means we're going to lose weight. So how do we break that cycle? How do we break that plateau if after 4, 5, 6 weeks our weight just isn't staying the same? Well, if we've looked at all of those 5 things, I would encourage you to go back to basics. And that's what I did back in August 2023. And I was in that yo-yo. I was plateauing, I was yo-yoing. It was lose a pound, gain a pound, lose half a pound, gain a pound. It was just that up and down. And so I went back to basics. In August, completely went straight back, started weighing, measuring, tracking accurately, getting my steps in. And in the year, I've lost just under 70 pounds this year alone. Out of the 97 pounds that I've lost in total over 4.5 years, just under 70 pounds is when I went back to basics. And although I don't weigh myself weekly, I don't even weigh myself fortnightly or monthly, I just focus on doing the activity, definitely lost a load of inches, and I've come down from a size 24, 26 to now a 12, 14, maybe a 16 depending on the fabric and the brand and the style, but generally a 14. So going back to basics really helped to push me out of that stall. And if you do weigh regularly, daily or weekly or fortnightly, the other thing I'd say is if you're doing everything that all the aforementioned, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't get stressed. Don't have a meltdown. Don't get consumed by it. Just feed your body, nourish your body, and look after your body, and your body will reward you. So go back to basics, and in doing that, eat lots of fruits and vegetables. And even on that, eat lots of veggies, lots and lots and lots of veggies. But some fruits, just limit those fruits, because fruits do have sugar. And what we know is that when the body doesn't burn sugar, it gets stored as fat. And fat weighs heavy on the scales. And it's hard then to shift. So when I restarted my journey, I love bananas, and I was like having a banana fest. And I could eat 10, 12 bananas a week, and I was gaining weight. And I remember saying to my coach, I don't understand why I'm gaining weight. And we had a conversation. I explained that I loved bananas, was eating lots of bananas. She was like, well, there you go, because each banana contained an average of 100 to 150 calories. So I was consuming over 1,000 extra calories a week. And that's why I was gaining weight. I wasn't losing it. So yeah, just keep those fruits in balance, and but definitely consume lots and lots of veggies, and have those fruits maybe for a snack. But what I've learned as well is that berries such as fruits such as your berries are low in sugars, so those are great to eat. But foods such as bananas and tropical fruit, mangoes and pineapples, are very high in sugars. And as I mentioned, sugar that isn't used in the body gets stored as fat. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Think about your activity as well. Think about whether you can step up your activity, even an extra 5 minutes, you know, even an extra 50 steps. It all helps. A little every day can really make a difference. And also, if you are not losing weight, the way to break it is also to focus on non-scale victories. Because we know that the scale is sometime-ish. It fluctuates. It doesn't always give us the results that we want. It can really demotivate us, but maybe think about how you can shift your focus once in a while from the scale to all those non-scale victories. And you know, it could be that you're feeling stronger, you're fitter, your mindset is in a good place. It could be that you're losing inches. It could be something as simple as you made yourself a healthy breakfast, or you made a healthy meal. It could be that, you know, you found 15 minutes in the day just to focus on you. All of these are great non-scale victories, and that can really help to keep us motivated. So guys, those are my 5 tips to think about if the scales is not moving. As I said, not after a week or 2, because that will just be normal fluctuations, or it can be just normal fluctuations. But if you have a pattern, every 5-6 weeks you're not losing, it could be one of those. It could also be if you know, perimenopausal, menopausal, if you're experiencing a menstrual cycle. I know lots of people who will lose for 3 weeks, and then on the 4th week where their cycle is due, they don't lose, they can even gain. And then after their cycle is finished, they can go back and lose again. So, you know, there can be all sorts of reasons why we're not seeing that result on the scale. But if you are stuck, then just have a little think about those areas that I've just covered for you. Okay guys, so before I wrap this video up, it's snack of the day. So I have got here my Kvarg Lindhall yogurt. This is a protein yogurt. I mentioned protein earlier, and this is a great way of getting protein, and this one has got 15 grams of protein in each pot. I've also got 2 rich tea biscuits, and I just love to crumble them over the top of my yogurt, so I get that crunch when I am having my yogurt. I've also got my tea, and today I'm having one of these. Oops, oh, it's all falling out. This is my menopause cool moments teas, and this one has got peach, lemon balm, honey bush and vitamin B6 in it, and it smells amazing. It's really tasty, a tasty tea too. Okay guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much. If you've made it to the end of this video, then thank you so much. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and because at the moment I'm uploading every other day, and that way when you click that notification bell, you will be notified when I upload my next video. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. It just lets YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and it will show it to other people. And also feel free to share to your friends, your family, your neighbours, anybody who will listen. Feel free to share, and also drop a comment below and let me know if you've experienced a plateau, and also what you did to get your weight moving again. That is it for me guys. I will see you very soon. Take care now. Bye.